All right. What's going on, guys? I'm going to give it a minute or two here. Got some early viewers. We're going to give it some time, let people who want to join in tonight's game have some time to come in and join the fun before I get the presentation going. I got a feeling, or at least I'm hoping, we're going to have some first-time players here tonight. Talk to a few people. Some Twitter followers who are big wrestling fans, some friends and family who are big wrestling fans. Getting the word out. This is the night for you. So hopefully we get some new folks joining us tonight for our big pro wrestling night. And then you guys stick around and play some of our normal games as we do this 4 nights a week here on all 3 of our platforms. So, as I've been hyping for a few weeks now, tonight is our pro wrestling night. I've been looking forward to this. I've been wanting to do all wrestling night for a while. I know it's a very niche category, and I know we're going to have a small group playing tonight, but that's okay. It's my show, and I can do it, damn it. So I'm going to do it. Pro wrestling night tonight. All wrestling questions. It's going to be a good one, even if it's just me talking to myself. But I know at least a few people who are joining for sure. So if we do have some new players, and I hope we do, first off, welcome. And now I'm going to explain how we do the game tonight so you can play along. First and foremost, before we do that, I need to get set up because I'm about to make myself very small on your screen and make myself very small and get our presentation going here in a second. But first, once I do this, I'm not really going to be able to see the comments, at least from Periscope and Twitter. I'll be able to see them. I'm going to put this on my iPad right now so I can at least see the Facebook feed, and I'll be able to see any comments that may or may not pop up on the Facebook feed. So, all right, let's get our presentation going here so we can start our game. And we're going to start, hopefully, there we go. We're going to start with our rules. Here's how we play our play-at-home trivia nights. First off, we play 5 rounds of pub-style trivia. First round is a picture round, followed by 3 specific categories, and then a round of general trivia. All those rounds are going to be pro wrestling themed rounds tonight. Each round is made up of 5 questions that are worth 1 point each, and a bonus question, which is usually a little bit harder, so it's worth 2 points. So 30 questions total will be asked of you tonight. The games take about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes to play from start to finish, depending on how sidetracked we get during the night. But if we got a small group here tonight, we should get through this pretty quickly. Here's how the game breaks down. I read you the questions, and you write down your answers on your own score sheets there at home. You can either print out the official Play-at-Home Trivia Nights score sheets. I posted the link to that in the comment section. It's also pinned to the top of the Trivia Nights with Greg Facebook page. So you can download that PDF file and then print it out for future use. You don't have to use the official score sheet. You can use any piece of scratch paper you got lying around the house. Just make sure you got enough room for 30 answers and group your answers together by round. So I'm going to read you the questions. You're writing your answers down on your score sheets at home. Please, this is one of the most important rules of the night. Do not put your answers in the comment section. Save it for your score sheet. You can use the comment section for anything else, trash talking, sharing your wrestling memories, making fun of the way I pronounce any word that has more than 6 letters. but just anything but answers. So I'm going to read you the questions. You're putting them on your score sheet. I will then repeat the entire round for you in case you missed a question or wanted to hear one a second time. Then I'll give you a moment or two to finalize your answers for the round before I reveal the correct answers to you. You're going to be scoring your own score sheets at home. So we're playing on the honor system tonight. So please, no cheating, no looking up answers on Google, no filling in the blanks, no changing your answers, no asking your female voiced electronic device for help, no carrier pigeons, no asking the dog, any of that. We're playing for fun. Our play at home trivia nights started in our quarantine lockdown last March. We've been doing this just for fun, kind of exercise our brains during a crazy, crazy year and kind of be social without actually going out and being social. So it's just for fun. No reason to cheat. Okay, that's all I'm saying. At the end of the final round, you're going to take a moment and add up the scores from all 5 of your rounds. Put your final score nice and big on your score sheets and circle it for me. Then you're going to take out your fancy smartphones and take a picture of your final score and your completed score sheet and send that to me. If you're playing on Facebook, send it to me via Facebook Messenger. If you're playing on Periscope, you can slide that into my Twitter DMs. Or if you're playing on YouTube, there's no way to put pictures in the comments, I don't think. So you could post your just score in the comment, or if you have access to Facebook or Twitter, or if you happen to have my phone number, which I have a feeling maybe a couple of you on YouTube might, you can just text me that picture. So just get me your score one way or the other. We'll make it happen. I'll then take a moment or two to figure out who our big winner and our world heavyweight champion of pro wrestling trivia is this evening. One more thing, you are allowed to double your score for one of the 5 rounds tonight. And you simply do that by circling your entire group of answers for the round you would like to double. But you need to do that before I reveal the answers to that particular round. So when I give you that moment in between repeating the questions and revealing the answers, if you're confident in that round, you think you got all 6 questions right, go ahead and put a big circle around the whole group of answers, and then you can give yourself twice as many points for that particular round. When we play this game live and in person on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, when we're allowed to get together in bars at Firewater Saloon, your team has to turn in its score sheet before the questions are read during each round. So you don't have your score sheet with you when the answers are being read. So it's a bit of a gamble. You have to circle the double score option before turning your answers in and before hearing the answers. So in the spirit of the game, I ask you to do the same thing. Please don't wait till after you hear the answers and go, holy crap, I got all 6 questions right. I'm going to circle and double the score. Don't wait to the end of the night and then just pick the round you did the best on and double that one. Please do it during the round before you hear the answers, and then we'll be cool. So once again, just the main 3 infractions you can get yourself disqualified tonight, have the ref ring the bell early, is cheating of any kind, looking up answers, changing answers, any of that heel stuff. Putting your answers in the comment section, please. No promos when it comes to answers tonight. And doubling your score after you've heard the answers. That is an ultimate swerve, and we don't like swerves here tonight. I'm going to try as many pro wrestling puns as possible tonight. So if you're already sick of them, that's just too damn bad. All right, let's go to our categories for our pro wrestling night. Our picture round tonight is tag teams. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 different tag teams throughout the history of pro wrestling. You got to tell me the name of the team. I don't care about the names of the actual individuals. I want to know the name of the team. Round number 2, the Monday Night War. That was the most successful, most popular time in the wrestling industry. Those late 90s WWE, WCW ratings war. We're going to do a whole round on that era of wrestling. Round number 3 will be WrestleMania. How can you have a pro wrestling trivia night without talking about the granddaddy of them all? WrestleMania, the Super Bowl of wrestling. We'll do a whole round on that. Round number 4 is finishers. We'll talk about some of the more popular, famous devastating finishing maneuvers in the history of pro wrestling. That I wanted to do a video round for that, but every single clip of a popular finisher, it's ruined because the announcer screams the damn name of the hold the second it's applied. So that really didn't come to fruition. I mean, I'm sure I could have done some fancy editing, but I just don't have time for that. And, you know, if the tips were coming in real nice, then maybe I'd do the editing, but not so much. All right. And then we'll end with a round of general pro wrestling trivia. That's our final round. That's just some random wrestling questions to finish off our night. Just to give you the heads up, those middle 3 rounds, they all have some multiple choice and true false questions there in those rounds to kind of help you out, because they are some tougher questions. And the general round to end our night, there are no multiple choice or true false questions. You either know it or you don't. That's going to separate our main eventers from our jobbers tonight, is that general wrestling round. No multiple choice in that round. And I did write these questions geared towards hardcore wrestling fans, not fans of the hardcore style, but people who know their stuff, because I figured the only people coming to play tonight are longtime wrestling fans. One last thing before we get rolling in the game, you see at the bottom there scrolling my PayPal and Venmo information. If you're feeling generous and you'd like to send a tip, you can use either one of those apps to get that done. Tips are not required to play tonight, but they sure are appreciated, with my 2 main sources of income not allowed to happen right now. I cannot host trivia nights at the bar, and there are no hockey games for me to go get paid to get covered, or scouting assignments for me to go on. So, yeah, tipping is really cool right about now. So if you can do that, that's much appreciated. If not, you could still help out by going to thehockeywriters.com. My author page is scrolling at the bottom too. Start clicking around on all those articles. There's over 600 of them there for you, written by yours truly, and daily history column, some prospects news, Blackhawks news, AHL coverage. Click away. The more clicks you guys give me, the more money they send me. So that's another way to help out as well. Plus, you never know when a hockey question may show up from something you would have read in a history post. That won't be the case tonight because it's all wrestling. All right, that's enough of the pimping and promoting and the shameless begging. It's time to do what we all came here for, and that is to play some wrestling trivia. And we're going to get started with our picture round. It is tag teams, tag team picture round for you right here. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 different tag teams throughout the history of pro wrestling. I need to know the name of the team. I don't care about the names of the 2 wrestlers. I don't care what federation they were in at the time, promotion. I just want to know the name of the team. Okay, let's start with tag team number 1. Here we go. This is a classic one from the 80s and early 90s. This is the original version of this team. What is the name of this tag team? That gentleman all the way in the back, he'll show up in another tag team shortly. Looking for the name of this tag team number 1 in our picture round. Here comes tag team number 2. Oh, yeah, these guys with their satin white jackets, their mullets, their fists. What was the name of this tag team? Not the names of the individual wrestlers, but the team they formed. These guys were former tag team champions, as was the first team. First team was World Tag Team Champs. They were multiple-time U.S. Tag Team Champs as well. These guys were WWF at the time champs for a short time. Let's do tag team number 3. Ooh, yeah, not the greatest picture in the world, but, you know, there was no high def back in the late 90s. What is the name of this team right here? These muscle-headed steroid freaks. These guys were essentially jobbers. They looked the part, but they pretty much lost nearly every match they came out. These were the guys that would get fed to like the top teams on Nitro. But while their careers weren't that great, their steroid dealers certainly made a lot of money while they were in the pros. What is the name of this tag team? It's not the Meatheads, but it could have been. Tag team number 3. All right, let's do number 4. Here we go. Oh yeah, these guys right here. I don't think these guys ever won tag gold. These were WWF team. Of course, as I mentioned, the gentleman to the left was also in that first picture. He wasn't part of that first tag team, but he was the bodyguard for their manager. That's how he broke into the business. Different character, different persona here. What was the name of this tag team? They pretty much main goal was to take out Hulk Hogan. They played a big role leading up to WrestleMania 5 with the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, splitting them up, giving us that great main event. All right, number 5, tag team number 5. Here we go. Another WCW team from the early 90s, early to mid 90s. Yeah. What is the name of this team? I know the picture's not the greatest quality, but 2 longtime pros and Mean Gene looking in the lights for some reason. These guys were former tag champs in the WCW. What was their team name? If you know the 2 individuals and you know their nicknames, and then you'll be able to come up with this tag team name. All right, let's do our bonus question for our tag team round. The great Arn Anderson was a 5-time NWA WCW tag champion with 4 different partners. His first 2 title reigns famously coming with Tully Blanchard. For 2 points, name 2 of the other 3 partners he won the tag straps with. You can't really see it because I'm really small in the box right now and the camera's cutting it off, but I'm wearing my Arn Anderson Enforcer Established 1982 t-shirt. Bonus question. The great Arn Anderson, one of the most underrated performers of all time, was a 5-time NWA WCW tag team champion with 4 different partners, with his first 2 title reigns famously coming with Tully Blanchard when they were both members of the 4 Horsemen. For 2 points, name 2 of the other 3 partners he won the tag straps with. So he won 5 titles with 4 different partners. You know Tully Blanchard. Give me 2 of the other 3 partners that he was a tag champion with. If you only come up with 1, I'll give you 1 point. But you gotta have 2 correct names in order to get to 2 points. Let's go through these picture clues one more time for you. There's tag team number 1. You can go back and compare that guy in the back to the guy in picture number 4. It's the same dude. This is team number 1. Here comes team number 2 again for you. Tag team number 2 in our picture round. Number 3, there they are. Number 4. What's the name of this team of behemoths? And tag team number 5, our world tag team champs from WCW. This is probably 94, maybe 95. Before they really took off during the Monday Night War, which we'll talk about in the next round. Bonus question time. One more time, the great Arn Anderson was a 5-time NWA WCW Tag Team Champion with 4 different partners, with his first 2 title reigns famously coming with Tully Blanchard. For 2 points, name 2 of the 3 other partners he won the tag straps with. Looking for 2 names for this answer. Gotta have 2 correct names in order to get both bonus points. If you only have 1, we'll give you 1. Alrighty. I'm going to give you guys a minute or 2 to finalize those answers for you before I reveal them to you. If you think you did pretty good on the picture round and you want to use your double bonus score, your double score option, you can go ahead and circle your answers right now. Just put a big old circle right around the whole group of answers. Do that now. And you can get double the points. If not, you don't think you did that well, go ahead and you can wait for one of our other rounds. We still have Monday Night War, WrestleMania, and finishers along with our general round. Jen, Stella is surprisingly not very close to the computer. I know she's snoring pretty loud right now. She's probably a good 10 feet away. But it's pretty quiet down here right now. So, oh, she heard her name. She's looking at me now. What are you talking about me? Yeah, she's the loud one. Pickle is literally right below my feet, and you can't really hear him. But she's sawing logs over there. She knows I'm talking about her. She's giving me the stink eye right now. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's do our answers for our tag team round. Here we go. Get ready to start scoring your score sheets. Here is tag team number 1. This was the original version of this team with beautiful Bobby Eaton and Loverboy Dennis Condrey before he was replaced by Sweet Stan Lane, managed by the amazing Jim Cornette, and, of course, Big Bubba Rogers in the background. We're talking about the Midnight Express, one of my favorite tag teams of all time. The feud these guys had with the Rock and Roll Express produced some of the greatest tag matches of all time. Tag team number 2, do you remember these guys from the late 80s? Might have been early 90s. I think it was late 80s. Tito Santana and Rick Martel. Strike Force was the name of this team. Of course, Martel would turn on our buddy Tito there and become the arrogant model Rick Martel. With his arrogance perfume. I love that character. He's so good at being a heel. Number 3, these 2 meatheads. Hopefully you're more observant than I was, because they can pretty much see the name on their trunks there if you're looking in their crotchal region. I didn't even realize that was there until it was far too late to change the picture. But these guys was High Voltage was their name. High Voltage. Rage and Chaos, was that their name? I don't know. They were Dipshit 1 and Dipshit 2. These guys sucked. Number 4, there's our guy Big Bubba Rogers again, this time known as the Big Boss Man, with Akeem, the African Dream, formerly the One Man Gang, and Slick, a very underrated manager. These guys formed the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers. Hashtag never forget. Number 5, There they are. Were you able to figure out this team right here? We got Pretty Paul Roma to the left, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff to the right. Pretty Wonderful was the name of this team. Pretty Wonderful is number 5. The bonus question. The great Arn Anderson was a 5-time NWA WCW tag champ with 4 different partners with his first 2 title reigns, famously coming with Tully Blanchard. And how cool is it to see both of those guys managing in the AEW these days? It's awesome. For 2 points, name 2 of the other 3 partners he won the tag straps with in his career. Were you able to come up with 2 of them? He won the belts with Larry Zbyszko, Bobby Eaton, who we saw in picture number 1, and Paul Roma, who we saw in picture number 5. So we saw 2 of the 3 guys. Larry Zbyszko, I believe those guys were called the Enforcers when they won the straps. He won the titles with Bobby Eaton when they were part of the Dangerous Alliance. Remember that? That was a great group. That was Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, Steve Austin, and Ravishing Rick Rude, managed by Paul E. Danger. See, that's a hell of a faction right there. And then Paul Roma, when Roma was briefly a 4 horseman, when they tried to bring that back and it failed epically. All right. So if you got 2 of those 3 names down, give yourself 2 points. Otherwise, if you only got 1, give yourself 1. Of course, if you didn't get any, you don't get any points. That's how that works. All right, enough pictures. Let's get to the question and answers. Here we go. Monday Night War. We're going to do a whole round on the Monday Night War between the WWE and WCW. The ratings war for Monday night. It was Raw versus Nitro, and everybody won. This was the greatest couple of years in pro wrestling history. Stuff that both companies produced there for about 2 to 3 years was just great stuff. Brought out the best in everybody and changed the industry forever. So let's talk about it. Let's get you some questions here. Question number 1. Many wrestlers jumped sides during the Monday Night War. What former WWE star made a surprise appearance at the very first episode of Monday Nitro on September the 4th, 1995? Many wrestlers jumped sides during the Monday Night War. What former WWE star made a surprise appearance at the very first episode of Monday Nitro on September the 4th, 1995? That was an episode that came from broadcast live from the middle of the Mall of America, right next to this Auntie Anne's Pretzels, I think it was. Let's see here. Number 2. In what year did WWE's Monday Night Raw make its debut? Was that 1992, 93, or 94? What year did the WWE's Monday Night Raw make its debut? When did it first hit the airwaves? 92, 93, or 94? It was obviously the first of the 2 big Monday night shows to hit the airwaves. We just mentioned Nitro didn't hit the airwaves until September 95. So they had Raw had a head start on Nitro before Nitro joined the Monday night game. Question number 3. It's a true-false question. Hulk Hogan became the 3rd member of the NWO at the Great American Bash pay-per-view in 1996. True or false? Hulk Hogan became the 3rd member of the NWO at the Great American Bash pay-per-view in 1996. Question number 4. What was the name of the WWE's disastrous shoot fighting / boxing tournament they had over multiple weeks in 1998? Was that Brawl for All, Tough Enough, or King of the Ring? What was the name of the WWE's disastrous shoot fighting / boxing tournament in 1998? Brawl for All, Tough Enough, or King of the Ring? Recently watched a lot of 98 wrestling between the two promotions. Yeah, this thing was garbage. It was terrible. They tried to do this real boxing stuff, and none of these guys knew how to do it. And a lot of guys got hurt unnecessarily, and nobody knew the rules, and it was dumb. It was dumb. It sucked the life right out of the show. Nobody in the crowd cared. You didn't care watching. You were just hoping for a real fast knockout so they can get on to something better. Number 5. On the January 4th, 1999 episode of Monday Nitro, WCW announcer Tony Schiavone gave away the results of the WWE's pre-taped title match and famously said, "That's going to put some butts in the seats," after revealing the winner. Who was he referring to? On the January 4th, 1999 episode of Monday Nitro, WCW announcer Tony Schiavone gave away the results of the WWE's pre-taped world title match and famously said, "That's going to put some butts in the seats," after revealing the winner. Who was he referring to? Who won the WWE title on January 4th, 1999? Actually won it a couple days before, but it was being shown that night. This was a pretty controversial move. It was done to kind of prevent people from tuning over to changing the channel for their main event, but actually it had the exact opposite effect. Once people knew that there was going to be a title change, they all turned to the other station and watched it. So who was it that won the championship that night? By the way, if you've never listened to Tony Schiavone's podcast, What Happened When, I recommend you do that. But I recommend you don't do it at work or with the kids in the car. Schiavone is like the Bob Saget of pro wrestling, where he's this goody two-shoes guy on the air, but he is a filthy, dirty pervert on his podcast. But it is a lot of fun. They talk about a lot of the WCW days, the good days, the bad days, and then they also do a lot of watch-alongs where Tony and the host, Conrad Thompson, does a really good job hosting a bunch of different podcasts. They watch one of the old WCW pay-per-views together on the WWE Network, and you could follow along, and they kind of give live commentary. It's a lot of fun. I recommend the Tony Schiavone What Happened When podcast. It's a good time. But again, not safe for work, not safe for the kiddies. Our bonus question. I'm not getting paid to plug Schiavone's podcast, so I'm done talking about it. Bonus question for 2 points. What two legendary wrestlers bookended Monday Nitro by facing each other on both the first and last episodes of the show? For 2 points, what two legendary wrestlers bookended Monday Nitro by facing each other on both the first and last episodes ever of the show? So the first episode in September of 95, they faced each other, and then the final episode in March of 2001, I believe it was the final match ever on Nitro. These two old rivals got in the ring one more time in an emotional match. So who were these two dudes? Need them both to get the full credit, 2 points. All right, let's repeat the Monday Night War questions for you in case you want to hear one again. Number 1, many wrestlers jumped sides during the Monday Night War. What former WWE star made a surprise appearance at the very first episode of Monday Nitro on September the 4th, 1995? I do try to help you sometimes with the picture clues. This is one of those occasions. Number 2, in what year did the WWE's Monday Night Raw make its debut? Was that 1992, 93, or 94? And yes, they actually did have a match between Shawn Michaels and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That actually happened. It's a real thing. I'm sure that was a ratings blockbuster. Number 3, true or false, Hulk Hogan became the 3rd member of the NWO at the Great American Bash pay-per-view in 1996. Hogan became the 3rd member of the New World Order at the Great American Bash in 96. True or false? Number 4, what was the name of the WWE's disastrous shoot fighting / boxing tournament held in 1998? Was that Brawl for All, Tough Enough, or the King of the Ring? Number 5, on January 4th, 1999, WCW announcer Tony Schiavone gave away the results of the WWE's pre-taped world title match and famously said that's going to put some butts in the seats after revealing the winner. Who was he referring to? Who won that match? And who did he discredit immediately? Bonus question for 2 points. What 2 legendary wrestlers bookended Monday Nitro by facing each other on the very first episode and the last episode of the show? Looking for that match that happened on the first and last episodes of Nitro. It probably happened a few times in between, too. These guys always seem to be fighting each other. I always see when they ran out of ideas, quick, put blank versus blank. Everybody likes to see that match. They had some classics over the years, that's for sure. But I don't think either of these matches is considered classics. All right, I'm going to give you a second or moment or two to finalize those answers. If you did really good on the Monday Night War and you want to double your score, you didn't use it in the picture round, now is the time to go ahead and circle those answers. So there's the information if you would like to hire me, either to host your virtual trivia night for the holidays, if you're doing a Zoom get-together or any kind of teleconferencing call for work or family or friends for the holidays, and you'd like to have a trivia night, you can hire me for $125. I will put together a customized round just for you, whatever categories you want, and we'll play the same format we do here online. Invite me to your Zoom call. I'll show up. I'll bring the trivia. I'll bring the presentation, and you guys can have your own holiday Zoom trivia party. Also, if you want to have your own custom-made game for you to host at home or virtually, I can make that as well for you. Those rounds will be more like the ones we play at our live games, in-person games, where there are 11 questions each, as opposed to the 6 on the virtual trivia. You basically can pick from any of the categories I've ever done at the in-person game, plus more that I haven't done yet. You can build your own game. I'll send you the complete presentation, a hard copy of the questions and answers, and some score sheets so you can host your own trivia night at home. The cost for that is $15 per round for rounds that I already have made, ready to go. Or if you want a category I don't have a round for and I have to write it from scratch, those cost $25. So the pricing on those games are depending on how many rounds you want and whether or not I have to write for you or pick from rounds I already have together. So that is that. I told you I wasn't done begging and pleading yet tonight. All right, let's do our answers for the Monday Night War. Question number 1. Many wrestlers jumped sides during the Monday Night War. What former WWE star made a surprise appearance at the first episode of Monday Nitro there in the Mall of America? That would be Lex Luger. There he is. Lex Luger. The total package, Lex Luger. That's the picture clue for you. But I'm sure you guys figured that out. Number 2, what year did Monday Night Raw first debut? Split the uprights on this one. 1993. 93. March of 93, I think, but I could be wrong. True or false for number 3, Hulk Hogan became the third member of the NWO at the Great American Bash pay-per-view in 1996. That is false. He became the third member of the NWO at the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view, not the Great American Bash. Bash at the Beach is when he made that heel turn, and it got serious after that. That's when I got back into wrestling. I had not watched for a few, a good 3 or 4 years. As you get a little bit older, you're not really into it. And then all of a sudden, I see Hogan as a heel wearing black, and him and these other ex-WWF guys are just beating the crap out of everybody. That's when I said, hey, I'm going to watch this stuff again. And I did. Number 4, what was the name of the WWE's disastrous shoot fighting boxing tournament in 1998? Brawl for All. Brawl for All. What a steaming dog turd that was. Ruined the career of Steve Dr. Death Williams. He got messed up in that. He got knocked out and blew out his knees or his quads or something. That was a steaming turd. That was a fart in church. Number 5, on January 4th, 1999 episode of Nitro, Tony Schiavone gave away the results of the WWE's pre-taped world title match and famously said that's going to put some butts in the seats after he revealed that Mankind or Mick Foley won the WWE championship. Mankind or Mick Foley, either one of those answers is acceptable. If you went crazy and put Cactus Jack or Dude Love, I guess you'll get that one as well. Bonus question for 2 points. What 2 legendary wrestlers bookended Monday Nitro by facing each other on the first and last episodes of the show? That would be Ric Flair and Sting. Ric Flair and Sting are the 2 we're looking for there. All right, that's the end of the Monday Night War round. Let's get to round number 3, WrestleMania. Let's do it. Jump right into it. Question number 1, who did Bret the Hitman Hart beat at WrestleMania 8 to win the Intercontinental title for the second time in his career? Who did Bret Hart beat at WrestleMania 8 to win the Intercontinental title for the second time in his career? This was 1992, I believe, was WrestleMania 8. Who did Bret Hart beat at WrestleMania 8 to win the IC title? Question 2, which artist has never sung America the Beautiful at a WrestleMania before? Aretha Franklin, Willie Nelson, or Stevie Wonder? Which of these artists has never sung America the Beautiful at a WrestleMania? Aretha Franklin, Willie Nelson, or Stevie Wonder? I bet you thought you would not hear the name Willie Nelson mentioned on Pro Wrestling Night, but here we are. Willie freaking Nelson. Question 3, true or false, the Rosemont Horizon / Allstate Arena has hosted WrestleMania 3 times. True or false, the Rosemont Horizon / Allstate Arena has hosted WrestleMania 3 times. Question 4, who did the Macho Man Randy Savage lose in a retirement match at WrestleMania 7? Was it Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, or Ted DiBiase? Who did the Macho Man Randy Savage lose to in a retirement match at WrestleMania 7? Was it the Hulkster, the Warrior, or the $1 Million Man? Man, the Macho Man. He's on my Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers. So good. The guy had it all. Could talk. Was a great performer in the ring. Did all the right things. He had no problem putting people over in order to tell the story. Just a pro. Just a pro. He was so fluid and great in the ring, too. And then he'd just give you this promo that left you going, what the hell did he just say? And it worked. So good, the Macho Man. Question 5. Hulk Hogan holds the record for being in 8 WrestleMania main events. Who is second with 7 main events? Hulk Hogan holds the record for being in 8 WrestleMania main events. Who is second with 7 main events? And by main event, I believe technically last match of the night. Who has 7 WrestleMania main events, second only to the immortal Hulk Hogan? Let's do our bonus question for WrestleMania. We're going to go through these quicker. I didn't even realize how late it already was, taking our time talking about wrestling. The bonus question for the WrestleMania round for 2 points. Who did The Undertaker beat at WrestleMania 7 to begin his 21-0 winning streak? For 2 points, who did The Undertaker beat to start that 21-match winning streak at WrestleMania? WrestleMania 7 again. 2 questions on WrestleMania 7. 1991. Way back in 1991 was his first WrestleMania. I loved me some Undertaker, but man, these last few years have been, it's just hard to watch. He pulled out a couple of really good ones there towards the end, but most of them were just, it was sad. He's so slow and just dude, I want to remember you as the Phenom, not as some old dude that can barely get up anymore. Kind of tarnished his legacy for me a bit with some of those matches, but I get it. It's an attraction. People want to see it. But man, I really hope when he did his little goodbye at the Survivor Series a couple of weeks ago that really, really for good means, he's done. Bring him back for fun, bring him back for the attraction, but no more wrestling. You've done enough. You've given us enough memories. Do your thing, man. All right, let's repeat these questions. Number 1, who did Bret the Hitman Hart beat at WrestleMania 8 to win the Intercontinental title for the 2nd time in his career? Number 2, which artist never sung America the Beautiful at WrestleMania? Was it Aretha Franklin or Willie Nelson or Stevie Wonder? One of these never sang America the Beautiful at a WrestleMania. Which one was it? Number 3, true or false, the Rosemont Horizon / Allstate Arena has hosted WrestleMania 3 times. Number 4, who did the Macho Man Randy Savage lose to in a retirement match at WrestleMania 7? Was that Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, or the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase? Number 5, Hulk Hogan holds the record for being in 8 WrestleMania main events. Who is second with 7 main events at the Mania? And the bonus question, one last time, for 2 points. Who did The Undertaker beat at WrestleMania 7 to begin his 21-0 winning streak? Who was the first victim of the streak? All right. Give you guys a moment to finalize those answers. As you can see, we still have Thursday nights are our theme night here at the Play at Home Trivia Nights. So here's the rest of our themes for this year. Next week, we're going to do a Jeopardy night. We did one a couple of weeks ago in honor of Alex Trebek. That'll be a night where I take real questions from Jeopardy episodes. There's a website that literally has every question used on Jeopardy since like the 80s. So I'll build some categories off of those questions, and we're going to play the entire night just like a round of Jeopardy with dollar values assigned to each question. You have to answer in the form of a question, and then now that I got the slideshow going, we can make it look like Jeopardy. So it'll be an actual Jeopardy night next Thursday night. Then we got to do Wednesday night themes because of Christmas and New Year's Eve on Thursday. It's the 23rd. It's an all Christmas trivia night. Those are always a lot of fun. Everybody loves Christmas trivia. That's what we're going to be doing on the 23rd. And on the 30th, it is a year in review. 2020 will be our theme for our final Play at Home trivia night on the 30th. Just mentioned our Christmas night. It is the holiday season, and I just reminded to make a quick shout out and wish a happy Hanukkah to anybody out there who is celebrating this evening. I know at least one person out there is celebrating Hanukkah, so if you are as well, happy Hanukkah. Enjoy your holiday season. All right, let's get to our answers for WrestleMania. Number one, who did Bret the Hitman Hart beat at WrestleMania 8 to win the Intercontinental title for the second time in his career? This was the big show at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where he beat Rowdy Roddy Piper for the strap. Number two, which artist never sung America the Beautiful at WrestleMania? Stevie Wonder is who we're looking for there. Aretha Franklin, I believe, was WrestleMania 3 in Detroit. Willie Nelson was 9 in LA, I want to say. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember which one. But I do know, according to Bruce Pritchard on his podcast, the night before Willie Nelson's room at the hotel was Party Central. He said he and the Nasty Boys and Willie, they smoked a lot of the doobage that night, apparently. Question 3. True or false? The Rosemont Horizon / Allstate Arena has hosted WrestleMania 3 times. That is true. That is true. They were part of WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 13, I want to say. That was the Austin Hart match. I can't remember the last one they did. Was it 22 maybe? I don't remember. But that's why I put Rosemont Horizon / Allstate Arena, because if I just put Allstate Arena, somebody was going to say I put false because it was the Rosemont Horizon the first 2 times. So I didn't want to have that. There's always one. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever see a WrestleMania at Rosemont Horizon Allstate Arena ever again. It's kind of not the size building they want anymore for that event. Number 4. Who did Randy Savage lose a retirement match to at WrestleMania 7? He lost to the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior beat him. And a lot of people think that that's the best match Warrior ever had, basically because Savage carried him like he did so many others. You might remember that match. And when it was over, Sensational Sherry was Macho's manager, and she turned on him because he lost. And Miss Elizabeth came out to make the save, reuniting them. And it feels so good. Number 5, Hulk Hogan holds the record for being in 8 WrestleMania main events. Who's second with 7? The prodigal son-in-law, Triple H. Triple H is had 7 WrestleMania main events, and I'm sure he would like more if he could pull that off. Bonus question for 2 points: who did The Undertaker beat for his first win at WrestleMania, starting his 21 match winning streak? That would be the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka. All right. Round 4, finishers. We're getting closer to the end. Not quite at the finishing move, but we're getting there. Finishers. Let's talk about how some of our popular wrestlers end matches. Question number 1. While it was very similar to the Stone Cold Stunner, what was the name of Dallas Page's finishing move? While it was very similar to the Stone Cold Stunner, what was the name of Dallas Page's finishing move? Number 2. Who ended most of his victories with the Pearl River Plunge? Was that Ahmed Johnson, Booker T, or Farouk? Who ended most of his victories with the Pearl River Plunge? Was that Ahmed Johnson, Booker T, or Farouk? All right. Number 3. True or false? The Iron Sheik won the world title in 1984 by using the Cobra Clutch. True or false? The Iron Sheik won the WWF World Heavyweight title in 1984 by using the Cobra Clutch. The Iron Sheik, quite possibly the greatest Twitter follow in the history of that hellhole of a website. Number 4. Which female superstar uses the figure 8 as her finisher? Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, or Becky Lynch? Yeah, that's a typo there. Big deal. Which female superstar uses the figure 8 as her finisher? Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, or Becky Lynch? Question number 5. What song was Raven's version of the DDT named after? What song was Raven's version of the DDT named after? All right, Pickle, that's enough. Apparently, Pickle is a big Raven fan. Come here. Question, the bonus question. Bret Hart and Sting, these guys again, both use identical submission holds as their finishers, but use different names for it. For 2 points, name them both. Bret Hart and Sting both use identical submission holds as their finishers, but use different names for it. For 2 points, name them both. What was the name of their 2 submission holds? Same exact move, different names. Do you remember them? I hope you do. You'll get 2 points. All right, let's repeat our questions for you for the finisher round. Number 1, while it was still very similar to the Stone Cold Stunner, what was the name of Dallas Page's finishing move? Question number 2, who ended most of his victories with the Pearl River Plunge? Ahmed Johnson, Booker T, or Farouk? Number 3, true or false, the Iron Sheik won the world title in 1984 by using the Cobra Clutch. Number 4, which female superstar uses the figure 8 as her finishing maneuver? Sorry, just popping into the YouTube feed, looking for the just looking at the comments. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Usually I can see the comments, but now that I got all I see on my computer is the slideshow, so I don't get to see them. Question 5, what song was Raven's version of the DDT named after? And the bonus question one more time. Bret Hart and Sting used identical submission holds as their finishers, but used different names for it. For 2 points, name them both. Name both of their finishers. Same move, different names. What were they? All right. I'm going to give you a minute or two to get together your final answers. Quick reminder, if we've got some new folks playing for the first time tonight, I think we do. Reminder, we do this 4 nights a week at 7 o'clock Chicago time. We play Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday nights right here. Whatever outlet you're playing along on, be it Facebook Live, YouTube, or Periscope through Twitter, we do this every Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Sunday. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, we do some random categories. And then Thursday nights are our themed nights, like tonight and pro wrestling. So we'll be back at it Sunday night at 7 o'clock, just a way to kind of have some fun 4 nights a week. Since I can't do trivia out at the bars, I'll bring it home to you guys. So keep that in mind. And if you don't already, Trivia Nights with Greg has a Facebook page. Go ahead and give that a click if you're on Facebook. You can stay up to date there. Not only play the live games, go back and play all of our old games. And that's where you get the categories and all that fun stuff. You'll stay up to date on when we can get back to playing in person. Also, we have a YouTube channel. So if you're playing on the YouTube channel tonight, be sure to click that subscribe button so you'll get notifications when the games start in case you forget. There's some old games over there as well. I'm still in the process of transferring all of them over from Facebook. That's a very long, tedious process. They're still all up on Facebook, but there's a handful of our old games when we first started Lockdown Trivia, and then every game that I've done live over there for the past few weeks is also saved. So that's another place to play some of our past games if you're really bored. All right. So hopefully, if you're a first-time player tonight, we'll see you guys around more often for our trivia nights. Finishing holds, round number 4. Let's get through it. While number 1, while it was similar to the Stone Cold Stunner, what was the name of Dallas Page's finishing move? I left out the diamond from his name for a particular reason, because his name was the hold was the Diamond Cutter. The Diamond Cutter, kind of a breed between the Stone Cold Stunner and the RKO that Randy Orton uses today. Number 2, who ended most of his victories with the Pearl River Plunge? That was Ahmed Johnson. Man, that guy, when he first came out, was like, dude, that guy is enormous. He's going to be great. And yeah, not so much. And then the bell rang. Number 3, true or false? The Iron Sheik won the world title in 1984 by using the Cobra Clutch. That's false. He used the Camel Clutch to make Bob Backlund submit and win the title. Actually, he didn't submit. The towel was thrown in by his manager. It was the Camel Clutch was the Sheiky Baby's finishing hold. The Cobra Clutch was Sergeant Slaughter. Number 4, who uses the figure 8 as her finisher? Of course, that's Charlotte Flair. Kind of a tribute to her dad, Ric Flair, who used the figure 4 as his finisher. Yet I don't think he ever won a match by using the figure 4. I don't remember anybody ever submitting in the figure 4 against Ric Flair. Number 5, what song was Raven's version of the DDT named after? It was called the Even Flow, after the Pearl Jam song. The bonus question, Bret Hart and Sting, they used the same hold, but they gave it different names. For 2 points, name them both. That was the Sharpshooter for Bret Hart and the Scorpion Deathlock for Sting. Sharpshooter and Scorpion Deathlock. That's what we're looking for. Got to have both of those down there. If you have just the Scorpion, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Got to have both to get the full 2 points. If you only had one, you can give yourself 1 point. Obviously, if you didn't get any, you get nothing. Here we go. Final round. Let's get through this as quickly as possible. It is just a round of general pro wrestling trivia, some random wrestling trivia for you. No multiple choice or true false this round. So this is going to get you either into the main event status or you're going to be wrestling a dark match. Let's see how well you know your general trivia. Question number 1. I love this question. Matt Bourne, appearing as the Masked Executioner, lost to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the very first WrestleMania. He later returned to the WWE in the 90s as the first wrestler to portray what popular character? Matt Bourne, appearing as the Masked Executioner, lost to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the very first WrestleMania. He later returned to the WWE in the 90s and was the first wrestler to portray what popular character? And the best at it, I think. He had some issues and had to leave the company. They kept the character going with some other guys playing it, but he was the one that made it what it was. What character was Matt Bourne the first to play? Question number 2. In 2017, what Chicago native and 90s alternative music icon purchased the old National Wrestling Alliance after being president of TNA Wrestling? In 2007, what Chicago native and 90s alternative music icon purchased the National Wrestling Alliance after being president of the TNA Wrestling? Impact, I believe, is what they are called now. And I think this past week's episode was like the first time in a very long time people actually watched it because they had Kenny Omega on it. Kenny Omega equals ratings. Number 3, what was the name of Chris Jericho's bodyguard during his WCW run? Oh, man, this was so good. What was the name of Chris Jericho's bodyguard during his WCW run? Man, WCW Chris Jericho was the freaking best. You just saw that, like, not only was he just really good in the ring, but, man, you just saw that the beginning of his personality and his mic skills and his arrogance and cockiness and his being a smartass. So good. I think it's a tie. 2 of my favorite things from the whole Nitro was Jericho's bodyguard and Screaming Norman Smiley. Every time I put on an old episode of Nitro or an old pay-per-view and there's a Screaming Norman Smiley match, I just crack up. I love that. It's so good. So good. They needed more of that and less of David Flair. Number 4, Andrew Martin, who passed away in 2009, was better known by what single-word name during his time in the WWE? Andrew Martin, who passed away in 2009, was better known by what single-word name during his time in the WWE? I think this guy's gimmick when they first brought him in was he was one of, allegedly, one of Motley Crue's roadies for some reason. That was his first gimmick. Number 5. When the WWE's SmackDown debuted in 1999, what network was it aired on? When the WWE's SmackDown debuted in 1999, what network was it aired on? And our bonus question, our final question of the evening. Most wrestling fans are familiar with the tragedies of the Von Erich family. For 2 points, of the 5 Von Erich brothers who were involved in pro wrestling, who is the only one still alive? Most wrestling fans are familiar with the tragedies of the Von Erich family. For 2 points, of the 5 Von Erich brothers who were involved in pro wrestling, who is the only one that is still with us? All right. Let's repeat these questions for you. Last round of the night. We'll get through it quickly here. Number 1, Matt Bourne, appearing as the Masked Executioner, lost to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the very first WrestleMania. He later returned to the WWE in the 90s and was the first wrestler to portray what popular character? Number 2, in 2017, what Chicago native and 90s alternative music icon purchased the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, after being president of TNA Wrestling? Number 3, what was the name of Chris Jericho's bodyguard during his WCW run? Looking for the name of Chris Jericho's bodyguard. Yeah, look at that guy. He's not guarding anything except maybe the buffet. Number 4, Andrew Martin, who passed away in 2009, was better known by what single word name during his time with the WWE? Number 5, when WWE's SmackDown debuted in 1999, what network was it aired on? SmackDown's been on a lot of different networks through over the last 20 plus years. What network did it start off on? And the final question tonight, the bonus question, the Von Erichs. Pretty much every wrestling fan knows the story of the Von Erich family. For 2 points, which of the 5 Von Erich brothers who were involved in pro wrestling is the only one still alive today? Which Von Erich brother is still alive? All right, I'm going to give you a moment to finalize those answers. I'm going to step away for a minute. I'll be right back, and when we come back, we're going to have those answers. Don't forget, after I reveal the answers, you're going to send me your scores. Either send them to me on Facebook or post them in the comments, or send me a text. However you can do it, just get me your scores. So finalize those answers. I will be back shortly, like literally 1 minute. All right. You guys ready for your answers? Here we go. General trivia. Our final round, our final answers of the night. Number 1, Matt Bourne, appearing as the Masked Executioner, lost to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the very first WrestleMania. He later returned, and he was the first Doink the Clown. Doink the Clown is the answer we're looking for there. Number 2, 2017, what Chicago native and alternative music icon purchased the NWA? That would be Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins. Tried to help you out there with the picture clue. Number 3, what was the name of Chris Jericho's portly bodyguard during his WCW run? How could you forget Ralphus? It was Ralphus. Man, so good. So good. When he would parody the Goldberg ring entrances and get lost or walk out of the building, it's just so funny. Number 4, Andrew Martin, who passed away in 2009, unfortunately, was better known by what single word name during his time in the WWE? Again, trying to help you out with a picture clue. Test. That was the guy named Test. Almost married Stephanie McMahon, remember that? Yeah, that was fun. Number 5, when WWE's SmackDown debuted in 1999, what network was it aired on? It was aired on a network called the UPN. Remember UPN? I think was it United Paramount Network or something like that? Yeah, the UPN was SmackDown. And the bonus question for 2 points: which of the 5 Von Erich brothers is the only one who is still alive with us today? That is Kevin Von Erich. Kevin Von Erich is the only one who has survived, as they like to say. I do recommend, though, if you've not seen the wrestling Dark Side of the Ring episode with the Von Erich family, there we go. Back to full screen. Got to deal with my. Oh, wait a minute, not yet. Got to hit stop sharing. All right, now we're back to the full screen. Yeah, so I recommend Dark Side of the Ring, Von Erich family, WrestleMania. All right. All right, now I can finally see all the comments here. CT, glad to see you. Pasta Mania, running wild. Armbar. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so get those scores. You've got all your answers. Now I need you to wrap up your scores, add them all up, and then send me the your final scores so I can figure out who our big winner is. Who is going to get the championship belt tonight? There is really no belt, but it'd be kind of cool if there was one. So get those scores finalized, take a picture, send it to me, post it in the comments, however you guys can do it. Make it happen. I got to log this out and then start looking to see what we got here. All right, let's see here. Got some scores rolling in. This was a fun night. Got a pretty good turnout, it looks like. We have the Titanic swim team. Nicely done. We got some wrestling fans on the Titanic swim team. Thank you guys as always. I have your score. Team Rios, Joey and Anna. I'm going to give Anna some credit. Did she even watch tonight? Was she even playing along? Or she just said, forget it, I'm going to go read a book? I've got your score. Thank you. Let's go to the other account here. I didn't even think we're going to be able to fill out a top 5 scoreboard tonight, but it looks like we might be able to do that. Yeah, possibly. Let's see what we got going on here. We have JK squared. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that score, guys. I guess I should have done some more recent stuff. Let's see here. Check the Twitter account. Anna Blanchard. Sorry, JK squared, Anna Blanchard. Was it Tully? I mean, if you had Tully over at your house, you should have done better than that. All right. CT playing along. Welcome aboard. Thank you, buddy, for playing the night. I hope you had fun. And play again at another time. Let's see here. Who else do we got? Let's see here. Thanks, CT. I really appreciate that. I don't see Carlos. I don't see your score. Send it to me in a text, brother. Send me your text. Sorry, bear with me. Trying to make sure I don't miss any of our scores. let's figure out who we got going on here. Put our top 5 together real quick. Made these questions a little more difficult because I figured we were going to have some big wrestling fans in here, so I didn't want to make it too easy. And mission accomplished, it looked like. These are not as high as I thought. I thought, based on some of the people who wanted to come in and play, I figured we were going to have like 4 perfect scores, tie for first place. But that doesn't appear to be the case. All right. So we got a top 4 for you tonight. And let's roll through those for you real quick here. Our top 4 in our pro wrestling night, finishing in 3rd place. Or, I'm sorry, 4th place with 32 big points. We have JK Squared and a Blanchard. A Blanchard. If it was Tully Blanchard, you should have got more than 32 points. But anyway, thank you guys for playing along. I hope you guys had fun. 3rd place, first-time player, first-time caller, long-time listener, my buddy CT, 34 points, checking in from the burbs. Nicely done, buddy. Thanks for playing. Hopefully you guys stop by and play again on one of our regular nights. 2nd place, Titanic Swim Team. You guys had 35 points in our wrestling night. But picking up our win, this is 2 nights in a row, but wrestling night Team Rios, 37 points. I'm going to go on a limb and say those are all 37 points owned by Joe. So, yeah, you're going to be our wrestling champion. You get the belt, my man. Nicely done. Maybe we'll do this every couple of months. You're gonna have to defend your title. If you want to be a fighting champion, you're gonna have to defend your title. So we'll do another wrestling night another time soon. But you are our big time wrestling champion for this week, and you blew the Midnight Express question. CT, I don't even know you. So that wraps it up. This was our wrestling night. We do this every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we'll be back at it Sunday night with one of our regular random formatted trivia nights. So hopefully you can come back and join us. Keep an eye out on Facebook and Twitter for the categories. I'll put those out Sunday morning. So yeah, until we meet again on Sunday night, enjoy your weekend. Be safe, be smart, be responsible. Please wear a mask if you leave the house. And just be good to yourselves, be good to one another. And we'll catch you back here Sunday night at 7 o'clock for another Play at Home trivia night. Thank you.